Hey, how you doing, people? It's me, Doja Cat. Welcome back. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I hope you like it. Minecraft 1.17. It's been on snapshots for a long time now, since last year. With every single new week, every single new snapshot, things seem to change a little bit less. Most of the snapshots recently have been pretty small, relatively speaking, compared to the earlier snapshots that added a ton of cool new features. Today we're going to take a look at what we know about 1.17 and try and answer the question, when will Minecraft 1.17 release? It's going to be a little bit different than our normal video, but I hope you like it. If you do, like, subscribe, and yeah, enjoy the video. There's only one spot we can start, an elephant. Minecraft 1.17 does not have a release date. At least not yet. If you've heard a date, it's not real, and unfortunately, I can't give you a date either. I don't know one. So instead, we'll take a look at what we know and try and make a pretty good guess as to about when this update should release. To make it easier to figure out, I'll split the video into a couple different segments. In the first part, we're going to take a look at what we do know and what we do have so far. So, Minecraft 1.17. Originally, it was announced back at Minecraft Live to drop in summer 2021. It was going to be a gigantic update, entirely redo the underground, the mountains, about 100 new blocks, archaeology. Yeah, it was going to be pretty crazy. However, back in April, it was announced that the update was split into two, 1.17 and 1.18. That makes 1.17 a little bit smaller. The date, however, was not moved. It was still stated that Minecraft 1.17 will be dropping in summer 2021. But when it drops, it's not going to have those sweet new caves or anything like that. It's just going to have most of the blocks. 1.18 is probably going to be the bigger Caves and Cliffs update. Here it is, the only part that we care about in this whole article. The first part is coming this summer, while the second part is planned to release around the holiday season. I hope. There's really only one more thing that we know about 1.17 so far, and that is the fact that it's probably going to drop around the same time on Java and Bedrock, or maybe even on the same exact day. For the past few updates now, the devs have been pushing them out at the same time on both versions of the game, so we're going to need to take that into consideration. If Java is finished, but Bedrock is nowhere near finished, then problem. The update's probably not going to drop yet until Bedrock can catch up, or the other way around. In terms of features, even though the update was split, Minecraft 1.17 is still going to be one of the biggest updates of all time. There's something like 90-something items coming to Minecraft in this update. It's kind of insane. King Bedogs, one of Minecraft's developers, recently tweeted out a screenshot of every single item in the update, for the most part, inside of a chest, and yeah, there's so much. Like, look at this. It's crazy. All of the slab wall variants, it's insane. In Minecraft 1.17, we're getting a bunch of new blocks like tuff, calcite, things like that, amethyst, we're getting the moss block, rooted dirt, a bunch of new plants, not a new tree though. Once the update drops, we'll be able to use amethyst to craft tinted glass that doesn't let the light through. There's also copper. Copper is one of the most interesting blocks of all time. It ages in the world, and you could use it to craft other things too. One of the best building block sets of all time, Deep Slate, is coming to Minecraft in 1.17. It'll be easier to get in 1.18, but it'll be in the game in 1.17. And then, of course, the ores. Tons of new types of ores, and a brand new mining system for some of the ores. Gold and iron specifically. We also get a whole new ore altogether, copper. And it doesn't even stop there. We have new mobs, axolotl, glow squid, goat, also new items like the spyglass and other plants and things that I actually didn't even set out over here. I play on Java. I've been showing off all of this stuff on Java Edition. How about Bedrock? Well, in terms of Bedrock features, we're basically complete at the same spot. For the most part, all of these features are over on Bedrock Edition in some form. Some textures might be a little bit different, functionalities might be slightly different, but for the most part, everything's there, and it's all basically the same. Java used to always be ahead of Bedrock. They would get features first, they would get updates first. Sometimes Bedrock players would have to wait months and months and months for updates, and some features just wouldn't even make it over to Bedrock Edition after the wait. This time though, if we want to talk about 1.17 features, things might be a little bit different. Bedrock Edition actually has one thing that Java Edition hasn't had quite yet. The thing is the goat horn. So this is the item, I'm holding it right now. It looks like a goat horn. If you use it, this happens. You like eat it and then the raid noise plays, and the raid noise does nothing. It doesn't affect the villagers at all. It doesn't start a raid. It doesn't do anything with pillagers. It's literally just there. But still, it's just there. That's something Java can't say. Now, its functionality is most likely incomplete. Most likely, once this thing is finished, it's not just going to play the raid noise and then do nothing else. And if it does, insanely lame. Like, come on. Please. How I see it, this could go three different ways. Java gets the goat horn in a future snapshot, and it does the same exact thing as Bedrock Edition, or maybe it's even complete. Then it gets finished up on Bedrock. Option number 2, the Fletcher table. The feature gets over to Java Edition and makes it into 1.17, but it does nothing. It does the same raid sound, or literally nothing at all. The use is added later on. Hopefully. Or the third thing, for whatever reason, the goat horn ends up getting postponed for Minecraft 1.18, kind of like the candles and the bundle. Candles and bundles actually still aren't on Bedrock Edition at all. That's probably why they were postponed for 1.18. Either way though, we have a lot of features, and for the most part, the features are at the same spot on Bedrock and Java. That's definitely a good thing for the release. That's everything we know about a release date, and that's everything that we have in the game so far. Next, we're going to take a look at what happens leading up to an update drop. For the update to actually be close to release, the features need to exist on both versions of the game and do basically the same thing on both versions of the game. That's where we're at right now. I don't know as much about the Bedrock betas as I do the Java snapshots because I follow the Java snapshots a whole lot more. But there is one big thing that's been happening lately in the Bedrock betas. Features have been coming out of the experimental feature toggle. Now, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what this means still, but I think, for the most part, it means the features are a lot closer to being released. The two versions of the game do upcoming features entirely different. On Bedrock Edition, if you're in the betas, you're going to have to scroll down to the experiment section and turn the caves and cliffs toggle on if you want to check out the caves and cliffs things. Or at least the experimental caves and cliffs things. I didn't turn the toggle on, and check this out. Deep Slate is in here, axolotls are going to be in here, powder snow is going to be in here. Most of the caves and cliffs features are no longer behind the experimental feature toggle, which means, I think it means, the features are closer to being finished. This is completely different than Java. On Java, features are just dumped into the snapshots and they're polished week by week by week until they're eventually finished. Then once the features are finished for the most part, the snapshots will become pre-releases. The pre-releases are smaller snapshots that really just fix bugs, usually, for the most part. On Java, the singular biggest sign that an update is close, aside from an actual release date of course, would be pre-releases. Pre-releases haven't started yet, but the snapshots are getting smaller. Usually, in past updates, when pre-releases are close, the snapshots get smaller and smaller and smaller. They add less things, and they focus way more on bug fixes and minor feature adjustments, making sure things actually work for the update. That's kind of where we're at right now. Actually, that's exactly where we're at. Aside from 21W15A, which added raw ores for the first time, 21W13A, which added goats, and maybe 21W08A, which added the new ores and smooth basalt, the last big snapshot would have been 21W07A. Big is sort of an opinionated term, but 21W08A dropped in February 17th actually. It's like 2 months ago. Doesn't mean every snapshot since then has been tiny. The raw ore stuff is a pretty big deal after all, but the snapshots are getting smaller. If pre-releases are such a big deal, what happens when they drop? Well, usually a couple pre-releases happen. Minecraft 1.14 had 5 pre-releases leading up to its first release. 1.15 had 7 pre-releases leading up to 1.15. And then 1.16 had a total of 8 pre-releases and 1 release candidate leading up to its final release. No matter what though, no matter how many pre-releases we see, once pre-releases start, the update is definitely pretty close. So, when will Minecraft 1.17 release? Will the update actually drop this summer, or is it going to get pushed back? With the whole update split in mind, there's no way. There's no way that the update actually gets pushed back. That would be insane. The update has already been split. If the update gets pushed back too, I just don't see it happening at all. Most of the things that we know about coming to the game in 1.17 seem to be finished. They're also in basically the same spot on Bedrock and Java. But 1.17 is a big update, which means there's probably going to be a lot of bug fixes happening, which means, most likely, more than like 1 or 2 pre-releases. I think 1.17 is on track for a July release, unless something big changes. June is pretty close now. Unless something crazy big happens within the next week or two, like a pre-release or a big pushback, I think the update will most likely drop in July. But that's just my guess, based off of what we've seen so far. What do you think? Take a guess in the comments. When do you think 1.17 is dropping? If you made it all the way to this point in the video, thank you. I appreciate you. Big shout out to Michael A, Tanner B, and Fateful Grim War today, my patrons. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you'd like to see more like this one, subscribe. This has been me, your boy. I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.